by the management of Honda Cars. Mr. Sen, the senior VP of the company, now joins in to talk about more perspective on the auto space. Mr. Sen, hi, thank you very much for joining in. If you could just start by sharing some statistics with us since the 9th of November. How much, for example, are bookings down? How much are queries down, footfalls down? And even after that, has there been any sort of incremental recovery in the past couple of days?
Yes, it's been a very dynamic situation since the 9th of November, and currently what we are seeing is that in terms of footfalls or inquiry levels at our dealerships, it is down, but it's at the same time a little encouraging as well, because it's still about 85 to 90% of what we had expected initially for the month of November. So, which means most of the people are still interested in going ahead to buy a car, and that's why they are making these inquiries. However, when it comes to bookings, the situation is a little different. Our bookings currently is down by about 38% compared to our, let's say, normal expectation, and that is a cause of concern for us. So that is as far as the basic statistics is concerned. However, the other thing that we are seeing is that there is fairly wide variation state by state and also day by day. So one day it suddenly appears things are looking a little better, but the next day it again goes back to normal or the current difficult situation. Similarly, it's not uniform impact across the country. We are seeing fairly wide variation across the country.
So there's no improvement in the bookings, incremental improvement at least. It's down 40% and you're still seeing the same trend continue on an average.
Yes, on an average, that's right.
So hi, good morning.
We are hopeful that, yeah, good morning.
Go on, sir. Please complete that point.
So now let's see what happens today. So we have to take it day by day, really.
Sure. You said bookings around 38% year on year, sir?
No. It's not year on year. It is compared to our plans for this month.
And so what were your, how many units were you selling every month? I mean, could you give us some numbers there? What were you expecting? And
so, if you look at our sales statistics for this fiscal year, we have been averaging about around 15,000 or so per month on an average. So, and we had a similar plan for this month as well, and it's based on that expectation that we are 38% down.
And would you say the situation remains extremely, fluid and uncertain? Because
absolutely,
you're in a category which is where there is some amount of wealth shock which will also play out, right?
Yes. So when you look at the customer profile, we have the salaried class, we have the self-employed professionals, and then we have the businessmen. So as far as the salaried class is concerned, okay, there is some slowdown, but that is primarily because of sentiments and the fact that they're busy withdrawing cash by standing in queues. However, when you look at the businessmen at the other end of the spectrum, again, there is a very wide spectrum of businessmen who are buying. So I think the impact there is a little more long-lasting. We do expect the salaried class customers to come back fairly quickly. However, our current estimation is that the business class may take a little more time.
Are you curtailing manufacturing or maybe reducing it a little bit at this point in time? And if you could just detail for us how much your inventory buildup is at this point? Okay,
it's like this. We are evaluating all options as far as this is concerned, and we have to take a call on this pretty soon. The dealers were stocked fairly at a normal level, at the expected level. So that we have maintained for the moment, and so there is some inventory build-up, but it's nothing alarming as of now.
Consider maybe giving some discounts in order to get your inventory moving in this period, in this lean period?
So discount is not the solution to overcome this kind of a development. I think what we are focusing on is how to ease the purchase process given the current constraints that are there. So things like 100% funding from banks, etc., are things that we have already done and we have rolled out across the network. So that is the direction that we have taken.
Right. You said you'll have to take a decision very soon on production curtailment, right, sir?
If we need to do it or not. So as I mentioned, we have to be flexible as of now so that we are able to not get into a fix. At the same time, it's not, as I mentioned earlier, it's not that the interest of buying cars has gone down.
Yes.
There's kind of a postponement which is happening. So I'm sure the market will bounce back and the lost sales would be recovered. So we have to be flexible to fulfill that demand that would come up pretty soon. So we have to be flexible, really.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for that perspective. Appreciate you joining in and good luck to you, sir. Thank you. We'll take a very quick